Many of you watching might have heard stories of Muslims facing discrimination while traveling, but this one will leave you speechless. A young Muslim girl was traveling through an international airport when she was suddenly asked to do something that no believer should ever have to face. She was told, "Remove your hijab." Stay with me, because the way this story ends will leave you stunned. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe right now and comment where you're rewatching from, so we know how far these stories are reaching Muslims around the world. Her name was Amina, a 19-year-old Muslim student from London. She was excited about her journey, a trip she had been planning for months to visit her family overseas. Like many Muslim women, she wore her hijab with pride. It wasn't just a piece of cloth, it was her identity, her devotion to Allah, and her protection. As she stood in line at the security checkpoint, she noticed people staring. Some curious, some judgmental, but she remained calm. She had traveled before and knew this was nothing new, but this time, things were different. When it was her turn to pass security, the officer looked at her passport, then at her and said, "Ma'am, we need you to step aside." Amina felt her stomach tighten. She quietly obeyed and stepped into a small inspection area. The officer then told her something she would never forget. "You need to remove your hijab before you can proceed." The words cut deep. Amina froze. She asked politely, "I'm sorry, but why?" "This is my religious covering. I've traveled before without removing it." The officer coldly replied, "It's procedure. We need to see your hair and ears for identification." Amina felt tears welling in her eyes. Around her, people were watching. Some whispering, others recording on their phones. She thought to herself, "Am I really being forced to choose between my faith and boarding a flight? Between obeying Allah and pleasing these officials?" Amina calmly explained, "This hijab is not just clothing, it's an act of worship. I can't remove it in front of men who are strangers to me. If you need, please call a female officer and I will comply in private." But the officer shook his head. "No, you must remove it here now." At this point, passengers nearby began to murmur. Some Muslims in the crowd said, "Let her wear her hijab, this is her right." Others just looked away, uncomfortable. Amina's hands trembled. She silently made dua. "Ya Allah, give me strength. Do not let me compromise my modesty." Then, something unexpected happened. A middle-aged man stepped forward from the crowd. He wasn't Muslim, but he raised his voice. "Why are you humiliating her? This is against her human rights." Others joined in. "This is discrimination. Leave her alone, she's just wearing a scarf." The atmosphere grew tense. Phones were out, cameras recording, people demanding answers. With the crowd watching and voices rising, the officer grew nervous. Another senior officer rushed over and asked what was happening. When he heard the story, he immediately frowned. He looked at Amina and said softly, "Miss, I apologize. You don't need to remove your hijab in public. Please come with me." He led her to a private screening room, where a female officer checked her identity respectfully. Within minutes, she was cleared to travel. When Amina returned to the boarding area, something incredible happened. Passengers began clapping for her. Strangers came up to her and said, "Stay strong, we admire your courage." Even some non-Muslims said, "We didn't know this meant so much to you. We'll never forget this lesson." And Amina realized her quiet stand for her faith had become a means of propagating Islam. People learned about Islam not through books or debates, but through her patience, dignity, and trust in Allah. Brothers and sisters, the world may test us. They may challenge our faith, our modesty, and our beliefs. But remember, every time you hold firm, you are not only protecting yourself, you are showing the world the beauty of Islam. So the next time you face pressure, remember Amina's story. Stay strong, rely on Allah, and He will open doors for you. And if you're watching this right now, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Let's see Muslims from every country unite in the comment section. Also, don't forget hit the like button so this story spreads to more people, and subscribe so you never miss these powerful reminders. What happened at that airport was more than just a security check. It was a test of faith, and Amina showed us that when you place Salah above everything, He will honor you in ways you could never imagine.